safe inside our houses, like miles apart. This is the MDM podcast. I'm Joe Morales today, joined with Trevor Markowski as we are about to break down the 2020 NFL Draft from our houses. How you doing, Trevor? How you holding up?
I'm doing good. I'm safe. Everybody's healthy here, so hope the same is in your house.
Yep, that's good to hear. And it's about the only thing on TV ever, so the ratings for this are going to be through the roof. It's going to be all digital. There were already problems today, and I expect more problems on draft day. But we're going to have something to watch, and that's what I'm excited about. Have you found anything on TV over all this? Have you seen any like horse racing or some like foreign basketball or baseball league? Anything?
Well, I watched horse racing a little bit. There's also been some NASCAR e-racing and IndyCar e-racing, which is like a big thing now. And The Last Dance, I haven't watched that yet, but I heard it used to be good, so at least you got something.
How about the MLB The Show Players Tournament? Have you seen that?
I haven't seen that. They're starting on MLB.com today. I haven't looked at the Dream Team.
Joey Gallo is 11-1. And
wow, that's really good. What MLB app is doing is they're doing the Dream Teams for everybody's best rosters, and they're playing against each other and like simulated like the show.
Oh, that sounds
cool.
Actually
very cool. You can look at each box score. It's really interesting.
All right, but we're here talking football, and I guess we'll start with Ngakoue because there were just a couple hours ago he tweeted out again how frustrated he is with his team's ownership. So the edge rusher is, I guess he's just mad. Do you think we see him traded on draft day, beforehand, or afterwards?
I think we could see him traded during the draft. I think the Jaguars really like a quarterback, which they need because might not Minshew, I think, is a little questionable. You could see him be traded with a player to the Lions maybe who need the defense, or the Giants who need defense. I could see potentially doing a trade like that.
So from a Giants perspective, do you see it as necessary or practical just to trade Ngakoue for a fourth pick? Is that practical to say, or would it have to take a little more?
I would say if you're the Giants, the Jaguars have 2 first-round picks. You need to get the other first-round pick as well, I would think, for the Giants standpoint, to make the deal satisfying.
So there's only a couple good quarterbacks in this draft. I think I have 7 in my top 100, and only 2 or 3 that could go earlier in the draft. So with Cam Newton and Jameis Winston still on the market, which one of these guys do you think is better?
I think if he's healthy, it's obviously Cam Newton. If he's healthy,
So if you had to choose one, I think I'd go Winston. Winston's much younger. He threw for over 5,000 yards last year, 33 touchdowns. Cam Newton, I don't know if he's fully healthy yet. Like I said, Winston's younger. So we'll go into scenarios as we go on. But before we get into the scenarios, you choose Newton over Winston?
Yeah, I choose Newton over Winston just because I think Newton, if he's healthy, he plays a lot better than Winston. Remember, Winston still threw 30 interceptions, touchdowns and yards.
Yeah, I only talked about his good stats. He still threw 30 interceptions. So let's make that clear. And then Brandon Cooks to Houston. Bill O'Brien again defies all the odds and continues to baffle everyone's mind. Why would Bill O'Brien do this in a heavy wide receiver draft? Trading a 2nd and a 4th round pick, and you could have drafted a good wide receiver late in the 1st round.
You could have. I mean, the Texans did have a couple of mid-second rounds they could have traded up. Like, for example, the 49ers, 31st, they're looking to trade out.
Mm-hmm.
That could have been a scenario right there. They're looking to trade out. I think Bill O'Brien, as a coach, he's done a very good job, but as a general manager, I think he's been very, very questionable, to say nicely.
And I think he's on his last legs too. It's got to be at least AFC Championship game or bust now. Would you agree?
I would say as a GM, yes, but I would say as a coach, I mean, he's done a very good job with Watson and the offense. I think as a coach, he's brought the team a long ways.
And before we get into the draft, what did you think of the DeAndre Hopkins trade?
I thought it was very good for the Cardinals. Because, you got Murray now, you got Hopkins, Fitzgerald, running back situation is decent in Arizona. I think it's very good. Now I think Arizona needs to focus on the offense line, but I think Arizona, they're a team that I think is on the rise.
Yeah, they're only a couple pieces away, like you said. Maybe a tackle and then some type of edge rusher on the defensive side because they had one of the worst run defenses in the league. And I guess we'll start with the Cardinals because we're talking about
or
them.
even a linebacker.
Yeah, I can see him going to linebacker too. But I remember when they were playing the Giants. Like the Giants, I think the Giants got destroyed that game. But their run defense was awful, and so you could go with a tackle to help protect Murray. But I'm kind of on the side of let's choose it. Let's go with defense here, just because it was so bad last year.
I agree. No, but in my mock draft, I had the Cardinals taking Wirfs, the offensive tackle from Iowa, at number 8.
Yeah, they have the 8th pick. Let's make that 8th pick.
So I think the Cardinals should go offensive tackle first because I think there's more offensive tackles better than defense this year. I think the offensive tackles are a little better than defensive tackles, so I would take offensive tackle.
All right.
First.
Anything else from around the league you want to talk about before we get into the draft?
No, but the other thing is the NFL schedule, of course, is going to be delayed a little bit with the May 9th release.
I don't think it gets. I don't think it gets delayed. I can't see it. I think it's all.
I'm talking about not the schedule itself, it's the schedule release.
Why would it be delayed though? What's stopping it?
I don't know. Because normally it comes out around now, but now they're saying it's not going to come out until maybe late April, early May.
What I don't get that. What would be unless they think they're going to delay the season, which I don't think they would.
Well, I mean, it could happen, but maybe the NFL is discussing contingency plans. That's why maybe they're delaying it. Well, no, I mean, you always got to be ready.
All right. Well, stay tuned for that. Guess we'll hear of it late April, early May. So let's move on to the draft. Right away, I'll read off the top 10 picks. So it goes Cincinnati, Washington, Detroit, the Giants, the Dolphins, the Chargers, Panthers, Cardinals, Jaguars, and Browns. So we'll start up the top, the Cincinnati Bengals. Is there any scenario here you see the Bengals moving out of the number 1 spot?
Yes.
With what?
I would say for the Dolphins, because they tried to rush Tua right before everything got shut down. It didn't happen.
I agree with you there. The only way I can see the Bengals moving out of the top the first pick is if the Dolphins offer you their 3 first-round picks. And the Dolphins also have, I'm looking at the second round here. Yeah, they have the number 39 and 56. So
in my mock, I had the Dolphins getting up to 5, the 18, the 26, the 39, and next year's first round.
That I agree. That would be the only way if I were the Bengals, I would trade out.
And the Bengals still might not accept that offer.
Sorry, what'd you say? Sorry, I coughed.
The Bengals still might not accept that offer, even with everything.
No, they totally don't have to. But I mean, I go back and forth a lot. Thinking about it, you could realistically do that and not take a quarterback.
Now, the only thing is I would say, well, Burrow could be a Hall of Famer, but at that time, you would be nuts not to take all those picks.
That's my point. And you still have Andy Dalton, who's not by far not an elite quarterback. But
I think he's going to get traded, I think.
You think he gets traded? What if they move down? What if they take all the Dolphins picks, right? They move down, they keep Andy Dalton, or they sign Cam Newton and Jameis Winston. This is why we started with them, because they have an impact on these teams. So they could take all the Dolphins' first-round picks, not draft a quarterback, and just take the best available prospects and build your team with anyone but a quarterback and run Andy Dalton out. They'd probably still win some games.
I would say if they don't take a quarterback, which I think is unlikely, I think they would have to sign either Newton or Winston if they don't take a quarterback.
So you don't think they can run with Dalton?
No.
Okay, so let's say that in our scenario the Bengals move out of the first pick, okay? And let's say let's say they move out. Would you take Tua at 5, or would you go with the best available prospects or Herbert?
I would go with Tua at 5, which I have in my mock draft going with Tua at 5.
With the Dolphins. So do you think
with the Bengals, because I have the Dolphins trading up.
You have the Dolphins trading up. So you think Tua is better? You think a healthy Tua is better than a healthy Herbert by far?
Yes.
Do you think Tua is still hurt?
I think Tua is healthy. I would even make the argument saying that a healthy Tua is better than a healthy Burrow.
I agree. No, I agree. I think Tua is healthy. I don't know about Burrow. I'll be honest with you, I don't watch a lot of college football. You do, so you know more than I would. I don't know if I agree with that. But I still think Tua is ready to go. I saw Tua in Miami for a couple months now. I've seen it for a little while. But as for the back to the Bengals, so if they, in our scenario, don't take a quarterback, they could still go for, you know, an edge rusher or a wide receiver or someone on the offensive line. They could build with other players that aren't a quarterback and
Yeah,
still win some games.
like after taking after the next 2 first-round picks after 5, I had them taking an outside linebacker and a running back, which would help them.
No, I agree. I totally agree with you there. Anything else for the Bengals? I think we covered it, right? They don't have
Because
they have the 33 pick. Can you see them moving up with San Francisco?
no, because I think if they
Too close.
would pick, yeah, because I think they got everything that you need, and plus they would have the 39. Then they would fall back on too. If something would happen, I think they got a lot of picks. I mean, it's a great opportunity for them to take a lot of players.
So we can dream about all this. We can talk about it. I don't think the Bengals move out of the first pick. I don't think it happens.
I don't see it, but I would say in this draft, I would say nobody's crazy in saying anything.
Right. I feel like this is so unpredictable. I feel like in years past it's been a little more relaxed. I feel like this one's I don't know if it's just because there's nothing else on and everyone's getting into it. That probably plays a huge role in it.
Yeah. The other thing too is I would say is for the Dolphins is if there's a question about Tua, and the owner is saying that that he wants Burrow. What the owner wants, the owner gets. So hold on, just give me a second there, but I just got to do something if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. We'll pause it here. All right, Trevor's back. I think we left off on the Bengals. Is there anything else we missed on the Bengals? Anything you want to talk about?
No, I think that would be. I would just say the reason why I would say a trade with the Dolphins because I think Dolphins are going to be very aggressive.
No, I'm with you. They have all of the necessary picks that I think the Bengals would want if they were going to move down. Andy Dalton, for reference, has 1 year at 17.5 left on his contract. So if they don't move him, they could keep him, and maybe they don't want to start Joe Burrow right away, although I think he should start right away. But they have the depth there.
To go on Dolan, I had him actually being traded to Washington, actually.
Oh! Speaking of Washington, all right. So that's a good little segue. Go right to Washington. Not really much to talk about here. Chase Young, right?
Yeah, I think if the Redskins if they don't trade out with number 2, they have to Chase Young.
Right. I'm with you. I agree. I didn't even write a lot down because it's pretty simple. Chase Young, Washington's really the only thing they need. I think they could take a little more, but that's one of their main issues. And the Giants would have been there if they didn't win those 2 games.
Yeah, and to go on top, but I think Chase Young is the best prospect in the whole draft. Quarterbacks, all the positions combined. I think Chase Young is the best prospect.
He's a steal it too.
Obviously, he's a steal it too because I think the Bengals or whoever at 1 is going to be taking a quarterback.
Yes.
So.
All right. All right. Now we get a little interesting. The Detroit Lions, who have talked about moving out. Before we talk about who they could pick, do you think they move out?
Yeah, I had them on my mock draft moving out. I actually had the Chargers moving up to 3, the Lions moving down to 6, and I had the Lions also taking the Chargers 37th pick in the second round.
That's a good pick. So I agree with you there. I do think they move out. Either it's going to be the Chargers, the Panthers, or the Jaguars. It could be either one of those that trade up. I don't really think it's going to be Carolina or Jacksonville. I think it's going to be the Chargers. But
I don't think Oakland either because they're saying they're looking at a receiver.
Yeah, and they're in a good spot for the receivers. When we get down to the Jets, we can talk about receivers. But let's say the Lions do stick there and don't trade down. You're looking at a cornerback, a defensive lineman, or an edge rusher. For me, it's got to be Okudah here.
I think it does have to be Okudah. I think some people are saying, well, Stafford out, or they're going to take a quarterback. I don't see that happening. I think Stafford stays. At least for another 1 or 2 years, so I do think it's a corner. I would think it would be Okudah.
They need some type of help on defense. Patricia's defense failed them last year. They 3rd pick in the draft. You need something to spark you here. So if you're not going to move down, it's going to be Okudah. But I do think you move down, and you can still get a good.
Yeah, that's what I had in my mock draft too. I had the Lions taking Okudah still at 6 because we had the Chargers at 3 taking a quarterback. You had
the Giants moving down.
No, the Giants are going to take offensive tackle.
You think? Oh, so you think the Giants stay?
I think right now the Giants stay.
Okay. So what if the Lions don't move down? Let's say the Lions stay, and do you think someone calls up for the Giants because the Lions aren't going to move down?
Well, I think somebody would call it for the Giants, obviously, because you already got one quarterback off the board, whoever that team's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at 5 and 6, most likely, at least one of those two, there's going to be a quarterback taken. So if you're Jacksonville sitting at 9, you're thinking, if I want a quarterback, I'm in a little bit of trouble here. I think I need to trade up.
Do you think they stick with Minshew, though?
I thought he was very good the first 2 games. I thought after that he was just very average. He was very average. I think he's an average quarterback.
I get. I mean, maybe down at 9. I guess we'll skip down to them at 9. You can get a good wide receiver to help him out. Carolina, now that I think about it, wouldn't move up. You got Teddy Bridgewater, so they're going to stick where they are. So it's really only the Chargers and the Jaguars that can give them a any kind of pick for it.
Yeah, because I even think the Lions should trade out because in my mock draft, if you had the Chargers at 3 taking a quarterback, you had the Giants at 4 taking a linebacker, offensive tackle, whichever one they're going to take. You had a 5, whoever that team's going to be.
The Dolphins. It's probably. I think it stays the Dolphins.
Well, whoever's going to be at 5, the Bengals or Dolphins, is going to be a quarterback pick.
Yep.
And then at 6, you would still have a quarter right there for you to take.
No, yeah, you're right. But at the end of the day, I think the Lions do move down, and I think that whether the Giants moving down depends on what the Lions do. If the Lions don't move down, I think the Giants move down. But
the only way if the Giants would stay is it would be a crazy scenario if Burrow would go number 1. If somebody would trade with the Redskins
that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
I'm just saying, if that would ever happen, then the Giants would have to take Chase Young.
I guess a dream. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, but the Lions would still take Chase Young there.
Yeah, I'm saying if both of them ever traded out.
That's not happening. That's absolutely not happening.
I know. We at least think one of that is going to happen. At least 1, 2, or 3. Most likely 3. That's probably going to happen.
I think the Redskins stay. I think it's down to 3 and 4. As I think about it, I think the Giants. I think in a perfect world they would move down, but I don't know if you're going to find what you want after the Lions move down.
Yeah, I had a couple rumors saying that the Jaguars go from 9 to 4, and the Giants take 9 to 20. I would be acceptable with that as a Giants.
I would totally take that. Yeah, of course.
Because you can still get an offensive tackle at 9. Mm-hmm. You're still going to be there because you're going to have 4 is going to be a quarterback. You're going to have 5 and 6 could be a quarterback. 7, the Panthers, I think they're going to go defense. Mm-hmm. And the Cardinals will go offensive tackle, and then the Giants would be there with just 1 position player off the board.
If the Giants move down to 20, I think I take Simmons there.
I think Simmons is falling off. The other guy I like for the Giants, if they move down to 20, I think the kid Delpit from LSU, I think is very good.
Who'd you say? Who?
The safety from LSU, Grant Delpit.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, I agree with you there. Yeah, but I think if all right, so I don't know this. If you move down to 9, you have to take a tackle there. So
yeah, like for example, the Giants are at 4 right now.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't taken Jedrick Wills. The Jaguars at 9, I haven't taken Andrew Thomas, another tackle. Yeah. I would be fine with any of those 2 guys, whatever it's going to be.
Are you high on Mekhi Becton? I'm pretty high on him.
Well, he did have a flag test, though. That's a problem.
Yeah. It could have just been like, it could have been anything.
It could have been anything, but that's not really the Giants' way to go with a guy who's had a drug test. It's not really the way of going with.
It's not Dave Gettleman way.
No. Even though he could be a little nuts sometimes, I don't think it's his way.
So we have the Lions there, the Giants. We have all right. So let's move on to the Giants though. So if the Giants stay, and let's say the Lions stay, then you have to go with Wills. You take Wills over Simmons.
I would take Wills over Simmons. I think Wills is the best offensive tackle in the draft.
Okay.
Then I think Thomas and Wirfs are like one tied for second.
Okay. So when would you take Simmons? At what point would you do that?
I have Simmons actually falling all the way down to 16 for what the Falcons
16?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, I don't think he's the best defensive player in the draft. I don't think he makes the 16.
Well, if you think about it, for example, okay, if you have the Giants at 4,
mm-hmm.
the Panthers are going to take a defensive tackle because they need that.
Okay.
The Cardinals will go offense,
mm-hmm.
tackle, I think. The Jaguars will go offense. And then you would have the Broncos, Jets, Raiders, Niners, which can go all wide receivers right there. That brings you up to 14.
I can't see it. I think one of them would forfeit their offense to take Simmons. Totally.
I think Simmons is good. I think he's just a little bit overrated. I think he's a bad player. I think he's just a little bit overrated.
They call him the best defensive player in the draft because he plays everywhere. So versatile. So versatile.
I just have him falling a little bit,
16's a lot. I don't know if he gets down to 16.
I heard, well, speaking of 16, I heard the Falcons are trying to trade up, but if Simmons would fall them at 16, I don't think they'll be trading up.
No, I mean, you're getting the fourth best player in the draft at 16.
But, like I said before, everybody's mock draft is always different.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. So, so you would take a tackle over a defenseman.
Yeah, I think the Giants need a tackle.
I'm with you there. Yep.
Yeah, and I think, remember, they have the second pick in the second round. They can take a linebacker there if they wanted to.
Yeah. I'm with you there. I think I go Wills 1, Wirfs 2, and then Becton 3. But I think Wills is the best way to go here.
Yeah, I would say this. If it's not Wills, I want Wills, but as if you were a Giant fan, Wills, Wirfs, or Thomas, I would take any one. I would be fine with any one of those three.
Wills or Simmons for me. I'll choose one or the other. I pick Wills first and then Simmons if for some reason they move down and he's not there.
Even Simmons, I wouldn't like it as much, but I wouldn't be overly mad about it.
I wouldn't be angry at all.
No, I wouldn't be angry at all. The other thing, too, is I don't want Becton because too much uncertainty. Who knows what that was? I'd rather just leave him alone.
That's fair. But I like your thing with the Jaguars where they get 9 and 20 because then you can do anything there.
You could do a lot of things. The only thing I say is that's holding it up is Dave Gettleman has never traded down a pick as general manager.
And that's what I'm a little worried about. He's not a fan of trading down. The Lions love to trade down, but Gettleman hasn't. So that's why I go back and forth. It makes sense to trade down, but I wouldn't be upset if they stayed at 4.
Well, just as you were talking about the Giants, we just got a report coming in saying that Joe Judge has had multiple FaceTimes with Justin Herbert in the past weeks.
Yeah, so what that was about, they here, I have the guy's name here. Hold on. Sorry. Hold on, I have his name. I wrote it down. Maybe I don't have it down. Sorry. Okay, but last year, if Herbert was in the draft, Gettleman would have chosen Herbert over Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
that's what the article was about.
I don't think last year's quarterback draft class was that strong. It wasn't.
No, it wasn't. And I mean, last year the Giants might have made a mistake. It doesn't matter until Tony Pauline. That was his name from Pro Football Network.
I thought Jones had a decent season. I thought he was better than. I thought he was the best out there. He was better than Haskins.
Yes.
Drew Lock, you don't know. He only played about 3 games. You don't know.
It wasn't better than. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. No, you're right.
He was good, but there's 3 games. You don't know.
All right. Anything else on the Giants? So we agree on taking on the tackle.
Yeah, and I would say this. I would say you never know with Gettleman and a new coach. You never know what's going to happen with who they're going to pick. I would say the most logical thing is why they're doing the Herbert thing is just to try and bluff a team to trade up. That would be the only thing.
Yeah. No. That makes a lot of sense.
I think the Giants' intentions now is, since this report came out, is to trade down. That's what I think the number one thing is now. To trade down.
So do you think they're not fielding a lot of calls if it's a bluff? They're just trying to get teams to move up?
Yeah, that's what I think. I think they're trying to trade down.
Okay, I hope they move down, but again, I wouldn't be upset.
That's the only sane thing I could think of. I mean, it would be insanity if they took Herbert.
Yeah, that would be the end. All right, so I guess we'll move on to the Dolphins, who to me are the most interesting team in this draft. To start, you take Tua here before. Let's say no one moves down. You're taking Tua.
So we're saying if nobody moves down.
Yep.
And the Dolphins don't trade up with the Bengals. We're saying if everybody stays put.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I would take Tua.
So you take Tua if no one moves down. All right. So let's say, let's put it the Chargers. The Chargers move up to 3 and take Tua. Are you taking Herbert, or would you not take the QB and go with the best available player, similar to what the Bengals would do, and maybe sign a Fitzpatrick or a Newton or a Winston?
Well, we talk about the Chargers trading up from 6 to 3, right?
Yes, and then the Dolphins would take no one.
Which I actually have in my mock draft. I have the Chargers trading up 6 to 3 and taking Herbert, actually.
So you'd have the Chargers taking Herbert over Tua?
Yeah, because my read is the Chargers are questionable on Cam Newton because I think they would have signed him by now if it wasn't for his health.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why would you draft a guy who has health questions too if you don't take Newton? That's why I think Herbert would be the safe quarterback play for them. Safe quarterback play.
So in your mock draft as well, do you have the Giants moving down? I think you said you had the Giants moving down too.
No, I had the Giants staying, but I would say if they would have moved down, I could do Jaguars right now.
Okay, so all right, so the Dolphins, if they were not to take Tua, and all these teams are in front of them took Herbert and Tua, who would you go with?
And Burrow's taking Tua, I would assume, right?
Yeah, let's say Burrow's out, Tua's out, Herbert's out, and Chase Young's out. Who are you going with?
Truthfully, at number 5, you're asking, right?
Yes, I think it's got to be a Cuda there.
No, I think the Dolphins need a quarterback. I'm sorry, I think they need a quarterback.
So you taking a quarterback no matter what?
Actually, at number 5, I'm actually taking Jalen Hurts in that situation.
Oh no, that's way too far. No.
I don't see that playing out when the Dolphins get shut out of those 3. I mean, that would require a lot of trading up by teams in the first 4 picks.
I think Hurts is all the way down on my top 100. I have Hurts down at the bottom.
I have Hurts going in the late first round in my mock draft.
It's possible. It's either late first, early second. But you're even at that, if you're taking Hurts at 5, you're jumping over Love, Easton, and Fromm.
I like Fromm. I like Easton. I like Hurts more than Love.
You like Hurts more than Love?
Yeah, because again, I don't see a scenario where the Dolphins would get shut out at 5 with all those 3 picks out. I don't see that happen.
I also heard that the Dolphins are not into Herbert. So for them, it's either Tua or bust, and we're taking the best available prospects.
Well, then you hear sometimes, well, the Dolphins, we don't know, the Tua injury, so you kind of hear they're not high in Herbert, they're not high in Tua, so you kind of really contradicting both of them.
Yeah,
because like I said, because they're not high in Tua, they're not high in Herbert. Just the Dolphins thing, that's basically the same. We don't know about Tua.
And you can wait till next year, and then take Trevor Lawrence.
Well, I think the Dolphins already tanked for one season. I don't think want to take another season.
I think they're gonna have to. I mean, okay, so let's say, all right, let's make it.
I think that shows more evidence right there. The Dolphins not high in both quarterbacks that they want to trade up to Burrow. I think that shows more evidence right there.
It doesn't say they're not into Tua. I think they're still very into Tua.
Oh yeah, I think so too. I think they would take Tua. I think they like Tua over Herbert. That's my opinion.
Yes, I agree with you there. Yes, but I don't think in the real world, I don't think the Bengals trade down. Maybe they should if they get all the picks, but I don't think the Dolphins or the Bengals would even consider moving up or down.
I would see the Dolphins because the owner says he really likes Burrow. Like I said, with the owner wants.
Yeah, but if you give up all of that, then you're giving up all of your capital for your next 4 picks, or 3 picks rather.
I understand.
It doesn't make a ton of sense from a business perspective. Maybe if you're playing Madden or you're doing like a silly mock draft, but that doesn't make sense from a team standpoint.
It doesn't make sense from a team standpoint, but I heard that the Dolphins they really high on this guy. So they really think this guy's going to be a Hall of Famer.
I think everyone thinks that.
Well, I would say this: Burrow had one good season. It would be, for an example, a rookie in baseball comes in and he hits 50 home runs.
Okay.
He had one good season, but can he sustain that? It would be like that in baseball. The guy hits 50 home runs, and what happens next season? That's one season. Maybe maybe they catch up to him. Who knows?
I don't know, man. I just can't see the Dolphins trading everything to get up to number 1, or the Bengals moving down.
I actually seen some mock drafts. You look on CBS Sports. That's been the growing trend over the past.
I think we talk about the same one, the CBS, where they had the Dolphins move up to 1.
Yeah, I've seen that on a couple sites now. It's been starting to grow.
Well, because the Dolphins are the only team that can do that. We talked about it with the Bengals. They're the only team that has the draft capital to move up.
Yeah, the Dolphins are the only team that has that ammunition that can do that.
Yeah. So at number 5, I'd go Tua if he's there. So for the Dolphins, Tua is my number 1, and if there's no Tua, then maybe go Herbert. But if you're the Dolphins and you don't like Herbert, don't go Herbert. Go with the best available player.
Yeah, I would think if the Chargers would trade up, I would think Tua would still be there for the Dolphins. I think the Chargers like Herbert more. Yes,
I think that the Chargers like Herbert, and then if the Giants stay at 4, that leaves the Dolphins with Herbert, and the Dolphins don't like him. I mean,
here's the scenario: if the Chargers trade up to 3, could the Dolphins trade up to 2 to try and out-trade him?
I don't think they would because they have everything. They have all the other picks, and they could just sign a free agent quarterback and wait till next year.
Yeah, they could, but I'm just telling you, the Dolphins hold a lot of cards here because they have the picks and everything to do it.
That's why they're so fascinating because they control the draft. They can do whatever they want here. That's so fascinating about them.
Well, the Bengals kind of control the draft too a little bit.
Well, yeah, it really depends because if I don't think the Dolphins will move up from 5 unless they get the first pick.
Well, no, the only team right now that can tell you what they're doing is the Bengals.
Yeah, I think the Bengals take Burrow. I think that's a given.
I would think so. Again, unless I said before, let's say Dolphins offer a move that you can't resist.
Yeah.
The one in my mock draft, you have all those picks.
Yeah.
If I was the Bengals, I would say you still have Burrow, but I'm taking all those picks.
And then the Bengals can either take Herbert 2 or go with Andy Dalton again.
Yeah, like at 5, even though the Chargers took Herbert at 3, I still have the Bengals taking 2 at 5 in mind.
So we spent a lot of time on the Dolphins. Let's once again reiterate what you want the Dolphins to do.
Mm-hmm. Want me to go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead. One more time before we move on.
I want the Dolphins to trade up to 1.
Okay.
And the Dolphins to go the pick number 5, number 18, number 26, number 39, and then next year's first.
And next year's first round.
Yes.
See, that's just too much for me. At 5, if 2 is there, I think 2 is number 1. They're not high on Herbert, so let's not go with Herbert. Let's go with the best available player after that. That's what I would do if I was the Dolphins.
Yeah, if everything plays out, the Dolphins are at 5. Yeah. I understand it's only a 5% chance that they would trade, but I think the 5% happens. If the 95% would happen, I would go with Tua.
So we talked a lot about the Chargers. I think we both agree they move up to 3.
Yeah, I would think so. I think we both agree they would take Herbert.
I think they're, like we said, they're high on Herbert. They're not too high on Tua. So I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Let's say that they don't move up. The San Diego Chargers, what do you think they're doing?
You mean Los Angeles Chargers?
They're still San Diego to me.
Well, if they would stay put at 6.
Yeah, they go to tackle or cornerback, right?
Well, let's just say they stay at 6. Let's say the Bengals would take Burrow. You're talking if somebody moves up besides them, or everyone stays?
No, everyone stays the same.
Which could happen this year because of the technology.
And even if no one moves up, Herbert's still there. So they'd probably take Herbert there.
Yeah, I would say that if the Dolphins would take Burrow, if the Bengals take Burrow, the Redskins are not taking a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't think.
At the end of the day, the Chargers are in a great spot here.
Yeah, because the Chargers, if everything would happen, the Redskins are not likely taking a quarterback. The Lions are not likely.
The Giants aren't.
Giants aren't. The Dolphins will, but you still have either Tua or Herbert. One of those two still there.
And it depends what Jacksonville wants to do. And Jacksonville controls a little bit too because they have the extra pick and Ngakoue.
And they have the extra pick and they go. So that's why I think the Chargers and the Dolphins might trade up just to protect themselves.
Yeah, I guess. This is really fascinating stuff.
Because if they trade up to 3 and the Jaguars trade up to 2, you just throw your hands up in the air and say, we did everything.
At that point, the Dolphins are like, all right, sorry, we'll go another year. We can't do anything else. But no, in a perfect world, I don't think Jacksonville would trade up. So then Herbert would fall right onto the Chargers' lap. Over to Carolina. And by the way, for the Chargers, they have to take a QB. You can't go with Tyrod Taylor and Easton Stick. That's enough.
No. Somebody was saying that, well, you can go with Tyrod Taylor, you take Simmons, you have that defense.
Oh, come on.
No, but I'm saying with no Melvin Gordon, you went on every game 10-3.
Yeah.
The team will go 3-12. You'll be back in the season.
You'll be taking Trevor Lawrence next year. Okay, over to the Panthers. So they're at number 7. They need some sort of a linebacker or some type of defensive back. So they're sticking defense here. Who do you think? Sorry, go ahead.
I actually think they need it on the defensive line. So I'm taking Derek Brown, the defensive tackle from Auburn.
Derek Brown from Auburn. Okay. Yeah, I think he's the best defensive tackle in the draft.
Yeah, I think they take him. I like him. I think they take him at 7 because they need some kind of rush good running game. They didn't really have a pass rush last year.
Well, after they lost Ramsey, they had nothing left.
Yeah, so I think their priority is defensive tackle.
No, there's nothing else to add. I agree with you there. Arizona, we talked a little bit about them. Their run defense was awful. So we both agree that they need someone to protect Kyler Murray or just some sort of edge rusher to stop the run.
Yeah, I would say I would go offensive tackle because they have a lot of good offensive tackle. After Chase Young as an edge rusher, then it's a big drop off after that. So I would say at 8, you still have a lot of good offensive tackles. That's why I would do.
Yeah, your next edge rusher would be the kid out of LSU.
Him or the kid from Iowa, Ebenezer. He's not bad.
So down at number 9, Jacksonville. So like we said, they have a little bit of say here what they want to do. If they don't trust Minshew, let's be clear. I think they like Minshew.
I think they do too. Remember, even besides the 20th pick, they do have a early to mid second round too to put more of the ammunition on them. So if they trust Minshew, they don't make any trades. I have the Jaguars taking Andrew Thomas, an offensive tackle from Georgia.
And then down at 20, I think they grab a receiver.
I'd say at 20, I think they actually grab a defensive end.
So you think they go both defense in the first round?
No, I think they go offensive tackle.
Offensive tackle. Okay, all right. Yeah, I agree with you on the offensive tackle, but I think when they get down to 20, I mean, I'm looking at this wide receiver class: CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy, Ruggs.
It's a good wide receiver class.
Very good.
The only reason why I haven't taken defense ends because all the wide receivers are going to be taken.
Yeah, they'll probably be gone now that you think about it. San Francisco is going to take one. The Jets are going to take one. Tampa Bay is going to go running back. They're going to go with J.K. Dobbins. Denver's probably going to take one.
I think they take Dobbins in the second round because I think the mid-first round will be a little bit of a reach for him.
He's on the Athletics 100 draft board. He's at 20, and the Bucks are at 17. So they might fall right into his lap. Be interesting to see what they do. And the Tampa Bay have number 45 as well.
So I think that's where he goes.
If he falls down, maybe, or maybe like you were saying before, San Francisco wants to move out. Maybe they go to 31.
Yeah, because I have a situation we'll talk about a little later that they move out at 31. I'll tell you a little later.
Yep.
Has to involve the Patriots.
Yep, we'll get there. Jacksonville. Anything else on Jacksonville?
No.
Good. Cleveland. They need someone to protect Baker Mayfield, but they could also go with a linebacker or a safety. What are you thinking here?
Here's what I was saying. I was saying the Browns would like to trade down out of 10. I heard that.
I think it's reasonable.
I hear the Broncos want to trade up because they're going to have at least, I would think, 2 or 3 receivers going before them. Mm-hmm. The Jets or the Raiders and others. So I have the Broncos trading up to 10. I have the Browns at 15, and I would say also I give the Browns the 46 pick as well in the second round. So
46. Okay. I see that happen. That's good.
That's reasonable. It's not anything that outrageous.
So let's say Cleveland stays at 10. Who are you going with? You going with a tackle? You think that's where Becton goes?
Yeah, I think the Browns get Becton anyway, even if he falls in that 15.
So you think Becton falls because of the tests?
Yeah, and I think anyway too is he would fall a little bit anyway too is because you would have, for example, the Broncos at 10 now for me. Mm-hmm. They would take Jeudy.
Yeah.
The wide receiver from Alabama. The Jets would take a receiver. The Raiders would take a receiver. The Niners would take a receiver. The Buccaneers.
They'd probably go running back or move down.
Oh, I would say the Buccaneers. I haven't taken defensive tackle, but they would.
Okay. So you think they stay at 14? Okay.
And then you would have Becton right there.
Yeah, they fall right into his lap.
I think the Browns would take it because you're gonna have to. You have to get on the second round pick, so you're getting an extra pick. You're only moving downside spots, you can still get the guy you want. I think it's a great pick for the Browns.
Yeah, and even more perfect pick would be the New York Jets, who are gonna fall right onto one of the big 3 wide receivers here.
Well, either they're gonna have no receivers taken off the board, or in mine they're gonna have one. I can't see them more than one going on.
So, yeah, you think like you said, Denver would move up, but let's say Denver doesn't move up, and it's gonna be the Browns taking Becton. You agree CeeDee Lamb's the best one in the draft?
I actually like Jeudy and Ruggs over Lamb.
Okay.
I think those 4 with Jefferson, the guy from LSU, I think it's very close.
Yeah, I think Lamb and Jeudy are basically on the same level. Ruggs a tad bit lower, and then a little bit lower would be Justin Jefferson. But I'd go CeeDee Lamb at 11.
If you were a Jets fan and Judy's off the board, for example, if as a Jets fan, if they took Henry Ruggs, because I heard the Jets were eyeing him, I got a report on that. They were eyeing him close.
Okay.
If you took Ruggs at 11, as a Jets fan, would you be mad about that pick?
No, absolutely not.
No, I would say this: Judy, Ruggs, Lamb, Jefferson, any one of those
All
four.
the same. They're all the same. You can move them in and out.
I wouldn't be mad.
You could do that. I think they have to go a receiver here. But if they don't go a receiver, you need some sort of tackle. I think we can agree on that.
Yeah, some sort of tackle.
And I mean, I'm looking to head towards the second round. Isaiah Wilson. I guess that's the first guy I see here.
Yeah,
out of Georgia.
I have him. They were at what 48.
48. Yeah.
I haven't taken an offensive tackle from TCU, so.
TCU. I don't see him right here off the top of my head, but yeah. Nonetheless, we agree. Wide receiver, and nothing's going to get in the way of that. I think receiver's the number one.
Well, no, the only way they can get in that would be the Jets themselves, and they don't have the best draft.
We'll see how it goes. All right, over to the Raiders. You said before you don't see them coming and taking a QB, right?
No, because I heard that the Mike Mayock said the quarterback situation is very good, and they're focusing on receivers. So.
Yeah, and right in the middle of the receivers, they're at least getting either Ruggs, Lamb, or Judy, depending if Denver trades up.
I haven't taken Lamb. So.
All right, so hold on. Let's go back to the Broncos for a second. You have them trading up and taking Ruggs.
No, I haven't trading up and taking Judy.
And then you have the Jets getting Ruggs, and then the Raiders getting Judy. Okay. All right, so
it would be Judy to the Broncos, Ruggs to the Jets, and Lamb to the Raiders.
So you leave the Niners with Jefferson.
Yes.
All right, and then Tampa Bay, you say would take the tackle, Thomas?
Yeah, from South Carolina, Javon Kinlaw.
Okay, all right. Oh, the defensive tackle. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then Atlanta, you also think.
Remember, the Raiders do have the 19th pick. Too.
Yes, that's from the Khalil Mack trade. They have it down at 19 from Chicago. So they down at 19, they could probably go with a defensive back.
Yeah, I haven't taken the corner from LSU, Kristen Fulton. I haven't taken that pick. So
okay, or you can go Jeff Glandy out of TCU. He's not a bad one. He's a little further down. That's a little bit of a reach.
Or if he falls, the Henderson kid from Florida. If he falls a little bit.
C.J. Henderson, yeah, that's right around that. That might be their first pick.
Yeah, because I have Henderson going to the Cowboys at 17, so right around there.
The Cowboys would probably grab him. Yeah, but looking at it now, would it make sense for them to take the best available defensive back?
Yeah, I would, because you already have a receiver. You're going to have some type of back, you would think.
And you can get a good receiver down at 19. I don't know how to say this guy's last name out of Arizona State, Brandon Ayuk. Am I saying that right?
I think so, something like that.
I don't know how to say it. Or Denzel Mims out of Baylor. He's down at 35 on the list.
I would say this too. I would still go over the receiver, still, and I think you can still get a good corner at 19.
Yeah, I agree with you there. You can, like you said, Henderson or Glandy, both are there. Dallas, we agree, would probably go a corner too. Is there anything else you think they could do?
I don't really see him moving. I mean, Jerry Jones he just has to make a good pick that's not gonna erupt the Cowboys into another. What are you doing here? You just gotta take a safe pick.
Okay, so let me throw something at you, okay? Because this came out earlier too. We forgot to touch on, but this is a good place. You think they move out of the spot to go along with a Jamal Adams trade?
Dallas?
Yes.
No, I think they stay. I think they really do need corner help because I think they really are exposed in the passing game.
But do you think they're really that high on Jamal Adams? You think they get him? Or do you see the Jets holding on to him?
I think the Jets hold on to him. I do.
All right. Where are we? We're down at Miami again. So, assuming they don't trade it, they could really go just with the best player available. Do you agree?
Yeah, they can go with the best player available, yeah.
Maybe grab a tackle down here. Maybe someone to protect your Tua.
Somebody to protect Tua. There's not that many good tackles, though.
Down at 26, you might get Austin Jackson.
Yeah, you might get him. You could go linebacker here. You could go running back here for the Dolphins.
Another offensive tackle, Josh Jones. Yeah, you can go with Patrick Queen or J.K. Dobbins if he's still there.
Or you could go with the other kid from Wisconsin, Taylor, or the kid from Georgia, Swift.
Oh, they need a running back. You're right. They could probably grab him in the second round, though. down at 39.
If Swift can go in the second round, Taylor, I have him going in the first round. He's the only running back I have going in the first
But down at 39, you can get the guy at LSU, Clyde Edwards.
Yeah, I actually have. Here's what I have. I have 2 running backs going in the first round.
One by the Bucks or no?
No, I have the 26th pick, which would be the Bengals for me, going with Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
And the 32nd pick.
Wait, hold on. What's the reason behind that with Mixon on the team?
With the Bengals going with a running back?
Yeah.
Well, they have Mixon. They don't really have I don't think he's really that good. I think they want an explosive offense. If you start with Tua, you got to build around him. Linebacker. Then you build with the running back around him. Got to build the offense around Tua.
Towards the end of the year, when Andy Dalton wasn't throwing as much, they really started handing off to Mixon. He was performing really well.
I see him going with the running back. I do.
Okay.
And then the other running back I have here too is I have the Eli kid going to the Chiefs. Imagine that running back with that offense.
Yeah. Well, he wouldn't. They don't even need a running back.
Well, I heard the Chiefs want to go for another receiver.
Yeah. Imagine that. That team's gonna be stacked. They're gonna win for so many years.
Yeah, with that running back. Also, if you don't want to stack up on the offense because they already have a stacked offense, they could look at a linebacker of the Chiefs because they do need help on the run defense a little bit, which is their one little weakness.
And the Chiefs are only down to 32, so they're taking whatever's left down there. There's a couple of edge rushers down at the bottom. AJ Epinza and Yuta Gross out of Penn State and Iowa, respectively. How about one of them?
Yeah, I have the Gross kid going to Jacksonville at 20, I think.
Okay.
And then the Epinesa kid, I have him going to the Vikings at 22.
All right, what do you got for Philly? What do you think they do?
For Philly...
Oh, looks like he hung up. Yeah, we'll take... let's guess we'll just pause here. Bye. All right, we got Trevor back, and we left off on what Philly was going to do. I think Philly gets a wide receiver, definitely. I think that's on their priority list. But do you agree with that?
I would say receivers on a priority list, but I would say first round, I actually go corner in the first round with them.
Okay, and you eyeing anyone specifically? Maybe Jeff Glandy?
Maybe. I had the kid from Alabama going, the Trayvon Diggs kid.
Okay. Oh, okay. Diggs' brother.
Yeah.
Or is it cousin? Is it brother or cousin?
But whatever. I think they're related somehow.
They're definitely related. So Philly, that's all they got going there. Minnesota's picked from Buffalo. What do you think they're doing with that? You think they staying or they're moving down?
22?
Yep.
I think they take Epinesa at 22, and then remember they have 25.
25 right before Miami. So do you think they move one of those picks or you keep both of them?
I think they keep both of them because I have a 25 to take in that Glandy kid, that quarterback for TCU at 25.
And you think both picks are defense or you think go to receiver?
I think they go both defense.
So a cornerback and an edge rusher?
Yeah.
Okay, I agree with you there. Miami, which you have as the Bengals. Who goes at 26 for either team?
I think they go Jonathan Taylor, the running back.
Okay, all right. Oh, and we totally skipped over New England. Hold on. We have to go back to them. Quarterback. I think they go with the quarterback. It's either going to be Jordan Love from Easton or Hurts. Do you like – and you said you like Hurts better than all of them, right?
Yeah, I think they take Hurts at 23.
Okay, you think Hurts is definitely going to be there. I can't see another team taking a quarterback.
Yeah, because Bill Belichick, he always has a trick up his sleeve in that field. You never know what's going to happen.
I think Hurts would be the ultimate underdog pick.
I'm telling you, I think the Patriots are going to take him.
So
I want him to take him. It's going to be fascinating to see him in New England.
Okay, and do you think they take anyone else, or they wait to the second round? They don't have a second round pick actually. Now that I look at it.
No, here's what I think could happen with the Patriots.
What?
Stidham is out.
I'll repeat that. You cut out.
Jared Stidham, the current starting quarterback right now.
Yeah.
He's out.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah.
You take Hurts and you compete him with Winston.
Oh, so you want them? Okay, so good. This goes back to what we were talking about. You want them to take Winston.
I wanted to take Winston and Hurts.
Wouldn't it be awesome if Bill Belichick fixes Jameis Winston and Bill Parcells couldn't? Not Bill Parcells. What's the guy's name? His name's moving away from my head. Who's the head coach? I can't remember his name. On Tampa Bay.
Oh, Bruce Arians?
Bruce Arians, that's it. Bill Parcells, sorry. But yeah, wouldn't it be great if Bill Belichick would do his magic touch on Jameis Winston?
I think it would be. I think they would take Hurts and get Winston because you don't know about Winston. You don't trust him as a starter.
Yeah.
I could see Winston for the Patriots as a throwing down and Hurts as a running down. So
So you think they platoon him?
platoon him, yeah.
That's interesting. I never thought of that. I like the idea of them. They're definitely going to take an outside quarterback from free agency, whether it's Cam or Winston.
Well, if it's Cam, then they're not drafting a quarterback. Then.
Yes. No, I think you're right there. It's got to be Winston and a drafted quarterback, or just Cam Newton. Let's say they just go Cam Newton. Who would you take then? What are you looking for? You looking for a wide receiver, or are you looking at somewhere on the defense?
Maybe I'm looking for an offensive lineman to try and get that offensive
lineman. Yeah, it would be either a guard or a center.
Yeah, that Ruiz kid from that center from Michigan could be potential.
That's the guy that can play center and guard, right?
Yeah, so that might, if they don't take a quarterback, that might be their pick right there.
Yeah, so on draft day at 23, maybe not at 23, let's say by the end of the second or third round, and they don't have a quarterback, is it safe to say they're getting Cam Newton?
Or they're at least thinking they have a real good shot at getting him. I would say that, yes.
Yeah. Okay. New Orleans, they probably need someone on the defense, whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. What do you think over there?
I think the safety from LSU, the Delpit kid.
Okay. And just to wrap it up, we'll move quickly. Seattle. What do you think, Seattle? Someone on the defense.
Warner.
Okay. Baltimore.
Linebacker.
Green Bay.
Wide receiver.
Kansas City.
Well, actually, you skipped over Tennessee.
I know. I skipped over San Francisco because I know you wanted to talk about how they're going to move down.
They had to take that Elo kid from the Chiefs.
Okay. And now for San Francisco, what do you think they're going to do?
Just to touch on the Titans, because you skipped over. I just want to touch on
Let's go with the Titans, too? Sorry, go ahead.
I think they take a corner.
Corner, okay. You don't think they get an edge rusher?
No, I think the corner they're going to go with.
All right. And what do you think San Francisco does? You were mentioning before.
I think they trade out of 31.
Okay. Who do you think moves up?
I think since Love is still there, the Colts go from 34 to 31, and they take Jordan Love at 31.
You don't think Love will still be there at 34?
Maybe. I think he will be. I think the Colts might put about somebody else.
I can't see anyone else taking a quarterback. Kansas City's not going to take a quarterback, and Cincinnati's not going to take one.
Hold on. What about if the Bengals and Steelers strike a deal at 33, saying the Steelers will up to 33 and they take Love? Now the Colts shut out.
I guess. I mean, even after Love, and let's say that the Patriots take Hurts, after Love, it's still Easton and Fromm, and they're not on the same page at all. Love's by far a lot better. So if you really think that the Steelers are going to move up, then yeah, go to 31. But if there's no rumblings about that at all, then don't do it.
I think the Colts move up to 34 because you don't have to give up that much. 34 to 31 is not that much, and the 49ers want to move down anyway.
Yeah, I guess. I haven't really thought about that much. Anything else you want to add around the football draft or anything else?
Two things. I would say the Steelers in the second round, I can see them taking from.
Okay.
And I'll give you a team. I'll give you a long shot quarterback.
Yes.
The Rams, a lot of pressure on them. Goff, not that good of a season. What about Jacob Eason going after the Rams?
Ooh. 52 to the Rams. That's not bad.
Just saying. Thinking outside the box a little bit.
All right, so Trevor, enjoy the draft Thursday. I'll ask you on here because why not? After the draft Thursday, either Thursday night or Friday, probably more Friday. Let's come on and talk about what's going on there and maybe the second round too.
Yeah, we'll talk about the second round. Things that happen, second round's very interesting too.
Yep, perfect. Today we'll have trades there. We'll know who's picking where. Enjoy the draft. Stay safe, and this has been the MDM podcast.